We're trying to warp your perception of technology through Hollywood.
They're back.
Look out for Charlie.
I'm going to bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head.
Before we get into this video, I want to show you something that I found on this channel. And this concerns the man that stole the plane. He stole like the twin-engine plane and crashed it. And it has him comically talking to the guys on the radio before he crashes it. He's saying some pretty nonchalant stuff before he crashes it. But let me show you the comments. The comments are very, very important, what they're doing and how they're doing it. And if you pay attention, this is everywhere, all over YouTube when this kind of stuff happens. So in the comment section, they're trying to normalize all this shit. And it says,
Damn, man was no villain. The intrusive thoughts just won out on this day. I hope he's found peace, and my heart goes out to his family.
Right. Come on, man. If you're having intrusive thoughts, it's not natural. It didn't happen before. Trying to normalize this is insane. You know, he sets up the football, and then Charlie Brown here comes along and tries to kick it.
It's exactly what I thought. Intrusive thoughts are the worst.
Like, everybody's just getting intrusive thoughts, right? Check this out.
They are backed by biological and social factors. I also feel that since Richard was a quiet person, no one ever noticed he was battling these thoughts.
This is setting stuff up for pre-mental health, pre-crime policing type stuff. And these people are not real.
Exactly what I thought.
And then says,
they are backed by biological and social factors.
Get the hell out of here, man. Shut up. But these people are going to keep doing this. Pay attention and you will see it. This is not natural. If you are having intrusive thoughts, they are not natural, and they are not backed by biological and social factors. You are fucking high. These are probably bots, but if they're operators, shut the fuck up, man. This is insane. But they're not going to do it. They keep doing this. It's everywhere. It's under every video that deals with something that they can twist into some mental health factor. Every fucking time. So let's get into the video. Before we get into the main subject, because this is related to it, I stumble over this kind of stuff on the internet all the time. It's in video after video after video, and I'm not looking for it. I just happen to find it. But in this one, this is strange sounds heard around the world, and this happened in Alberta, Canada. So check this out and just listen for a minute. And these are workers out in the forest, and they begin to hear things. See, if you listen close, in those strange sounds, there are voices, flat out voices, talking. And if you boost it up, you can hear it. I'm going to show you real quick because it sounds very similar to what I want to show you. So here's that sound boosted up in between blasts of sound. Let's listen right here. And you can hear voices within that, loud voices that are echoing. They have an echo to them. It almost sounds like somebody speaking, like a sportscaster effect on it almost. So here we go. Let's listen between blasts. Now what is so different about these voices, because they're not natural, is they can be turned to male just by pitching them down. If a male voice is pitched up, it sounds female, because they're completely artificial. Check this out. Now that's in that sound. It's not space aliens, it's not whatever people are blaming it on, Bigfoot, you know, whatever. Here's one more where I took some noise out of it. Those are voices, and they're within that sound. Case closed. None of those are strange sounds from aliens or anything else. They're man-made. That is HARP-type technology that is banging signals off and bouncing them around. And they're bouncing them all over the earth. And people come up with the lamest excuses for this kind of shit, man. Either they blame it on something completely supernatural, or they try to say that it's like a factory when there's no factories around. Excuse after excuse after excuse. They don't make any sense. A lot of these people record these sounds like way out in the middle of frickin' nowhere. And even people that think it's aliens will actually admit that they heard like car doors closing out in the middle of a national forest or something like that. You know, it's like, so what? Aliens are mimicking car doors closing and sending them over to you? It's so irrational. They'll never go into technology. They'll never go there, even though we know that they have the technology and that this technology is everywhere, and they've been testing it for decades and decades and decades. So this is what I want to show you. And if you're into audio and sound, this is very, very interesting. If not, you're not going to get it. This is really weird. Now, I've rode two-stroke dirt bikes, motocross bikes, since I was 4 years old. I've been around the sound all my life, and I have never, ever heard this sound. Now, you're going to hear the bike whip by, right? And I'll play it up to that point. Okay, we've all heard that sound. It's a normal two-stroke sound. Listen to the warbling of a frequency after the bike passes. This is really insane. Check this out. You hear that? It almost sounds like a 60s sci-fi sound.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna hit me.
Okay, let me show you something. Let's look at the sound isolated. Alright, let's check it out.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna hit me.
Now let's check it out spectrally. What you see here is, those are the tones from the two-stroke bike, right? The frequencies. And right here, all those frequencies right here are warbling, and they're warbling right around the 3 to 400 hertz range, which is about the median frequency of human voice, like right around there. It almost sounds like an old Star Trek episode. But I started to adjust the audio, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. So I started adjusting those frequencies around 400 hertz. So it zips by them, and then this frequency gets whipped up. Now check this out after I adjusted it. That's a voice. Let's go to a different version. Let's check this one out.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he...
Now here's a different version. So those frequencies getting whipped up right after the bike went by, that warbling was actually a voice. Here's a different version. Let's check it out. And I pitched that one down just a hair. Now let's go back to the strange sounds heard around the world real quick. Now in many videos I've said that these frequencies get whipped up. They auto gain on louder sound, right? So you have this bike whipping by, and it doesn't have time to drop back down to ambient sound level. It's going to stay loud for a couple seconds, so you got that warbling for a second. So let's go back to that. Let's listen to it one more time. Now let's go back to the bike. And here it is. So what's happening is it's getting whipped up. The bike flies by. and then it drops back down to ambient sound level. But for that couple seconds, you can hear a voice in that warbling. So within this warbling right here, it is a voice, and when you adjust it, you can clearly hear it. That is just amazing to me. Some people may not see the importance of this, but it is very, very important, because when you listen and when you look, you can find it everywhere. It is all over audio now, and it didn't used to be. There is a video of a guy skateboarding with his kid, right? And he says something. He's watching his kid skateboard at a skate park, and he says something, and a voice mimics his, but it's like an octave above his. And you can clearly hear it in the video. I've shown a video of that. It's very similar to what is happening here. But when adjusted, it sounds like this. It sounds like a Star Wars communication, or like a radio communication. It's very, very weird. And you can find these all over if you are listening, if you have the right ears to hear it. It is all over audio now, and it shouldn't be there. It should not be there. Those strange sounds heard around the world are related to this. It is the same thing. It's just not being cranked up and tested, right? It's not making physical noises that everybody can hear in a 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius. It is very, very interesting to find this in audio. That's it for now. Look out for Charlie.
I've seen this before. Who is that?
It's the guy.
What guy?
You know, the guy we were trying to get to do Nazi stuff. You know, come on, do Nazi stuff.
Oh, yeah. Still haven't been able to get him to do Nazi stuff.
Now, will we keep trying?
Look out for Charlie.
I wonder if he'd be willing to do just a little bit of Nazi stuff.